Welcome to the Inspiring Marriages Podcast. We are Jeff and Teresa Fields, and we are thrilled to have you with us today. The incredible music that you heard in our intro was the incredible work of our very own son, Joseph Taylor Fields.
We've been happily married for 32 amazing years. Along the way, we've been blessed by 3 incredible children. And we have a fantastic son-in-law and the most precious grandbaby you could imagine.
Get ready to be inspired. As we open up about our journey, our mission is to ignite a spark in couples everywhere. We're all about nurturing deep friendship and cultivating marriages that thrive in every way. Spiritually, emotionally, romantically, and physically. Join us on this incredible adventure.
Be sure to check out our website at inspiringmarriages.net. Dive into all our previous episodes with detailed show notes that will enrich your listening experience. Plus, scroll down to find our Keep in Touch section where you can sign up and receive our latest offerings absolutely free. That's right. And don't miss out on the inspiration. Visit us today.
This week we're continuing our series on intellectual intimacy. We're going to call it Brain and Heart, Fostering Intellectual Intimacy in Marriage. In this episode, we're going to dive into the often overlooked aspect of intellectual intimacy. While physical and emotional intimacy are commonly discussed, intellectual intimacy is equally vital for a thriving relationship.
Intellectual intimacy involves deep conversations and shared ideas. We'll explore 6 signs of intellectual intimacy and provide practical tips to nurture and enhance this connection with your spouse.
Our first sign of intellectual intimacy in a marriage is you talk about your plans for the future together. You know, it's really important to have shared vision and goals. From that, you get unity, mutual understanding and support, enhanced communication, motivation, stability, security, and personal growth. Now, some examples of future plan discussions: you can talk about your career, you can talk about travel, you can have family goals. It's always a good idea, Teresa, I think it is, for every once in a while, at least once a year, just to sit back and have a time together where you talk about how the year has been going, what kind of hopes and plans you have for the future, and kind of plan things out for the year. Now, you may not plan things out exactly, because basically what you do is you plan things out in like boulders, stones, and pebbles. So pebbles are things you do like in the next week or two. Boulders might be a big plan you have for the next year.
Right.
And stones you might have, they might be not as big plans, but other plans you may have every quarter or so. But you kind of plan things out. You don't plan out every detail a year from now. But you kind of set out.
That's right.
Common vision and goals. Isn't that important?
That's very important. That helps not just your marriage to go in the right direction together, but your whole family going in the same direction.
Right. It helps you go in the same direction. Now, here are some tips for initiating and maintaining those conversations. So, get together this week and plan something small for the next 2 weeks. That might be a movie, that might be a dinner date, it might be just something, a hike. Plan something small for the next 2 weeks. Then, in the next week, also plan one minor activity that you're going to accomplish in the next 6 months. Say you want to go overnight somewhere together. Say you want to go to a concert. Say you want to go to a show. say you want to go to a seminar. Plan
Right.
some minor activity to happen in the next 6 months. And together, plan something major for that will happen in the next 12 months.
That's good.
Maybe you want to go on a family vacation to the Grand Canyon. Or
Right.
you want to go to Hawaii, or you go to Italy, or go on a family cruise.
Right.
Or a couple's cruise. Or you might want to go to the Bahamas. You might want to go to Alaska. Plan something major and set a goal. So, if you, like, let's say we were planning, one of our goals is go on an Alaskan cruise.
Right.
Now, have we done it? No, we have not.
No.
But if we said, hey, next July, let's plan on a family trip to Alaska and go on a family cruise, and we would start setting aside money now.
Right.
And we would
Get those parkas ready.
Yeah, parkas ready. If we go in July, it's not that cold.
Oh, that's good.
So so instead of going out to eat at a nice restaurant, maybe you cook in and you take that money and you set aside for your cruise, and you just do things planning together. But when you pull in together, it'll go a lot faster.
Oh, yes. You have something to work towards, and that makes it exciting and fun.
Yeah. So talk about your future together. That's a great sign that you have developing intellectual intimacy when you talk together about your plans for the future. Teresa should not wonder what her plans are. Well, I have plans, and I shouldn't wonder what her plans are. We should plan together. A second sign that you're developing intellectual intimacy in marriage is you regularly seek each other's opinions.
That's
Now,
good.
when you seek your spouse's opinion about something, you're showing respect, and you show that you value your partner's perspective.
I like that.
So, real life examples of decision making together may be whether to replace the car, what kind of car are we going to get, how are we going to pay for it, the color, and
Right.
so those things shouldn't be done by one of the spouses.
No, because
it's not.
if one is kind of going to an extreme, the other can kind of balance you out and bring you back into reality.
Right.
Like this is what we can afford.
Right. That's always good. Dave Ramsey teaches that it's always one of you is more of a spender, and one of you is more of a saver.
That's right.
So you have to work together. But you should regularly seek each other's opinions about stuff. Hey, what do you think about if we do this, paint this wall green? Or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So those are real life examples of making decisions together.
Oh yes, that's so helpful.
And you'll have so many decisions to make during your marriage. It's just starting out, what type of school are the kids going to go to? Are you going to public school? Are you going to go private school? Are you going to homeschool? Or those things are decisions, and it shouldn't be
they're huge.
One nagging the other and the other one not browbeating the other one. It should be a mutual decision.
Right.
So everything we're talking about are not arguments; they're discussions.
Right. They're discussions.
'Cause there's no winners. There's a winner, but there's no losers. There's no losers in a couple's. This should not be a loser in a couple's discussion. Because
that's right.
You don't want your spouse to lose an argument. You don't want that, right?
Right.
No, you don't want to beat your spouse in an argument. No.
You both should be succeeding if you're supporting each other.
Right.
It's a win-win.
and actively seek your spouse's opinion about stuff. Make it a habit of. Teresa always says, "How does this dress look on me?" And I can say, "How does this shirt look on me?" She can say, "How's my hair?" I can say, just different things we should regularly incorporate our spouse's opinion. We should regularly incorporate asking our spouses their opinions. That's a great sign that you are developing intellectual intimacy when you really seek each other's opinion and not just
I
go off
agree.
and make decisions and actions on your own. That you're actually actively seeking your spouse's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a big one. The third sign that you're developing intellectual intimacy is you invite your spouse to join you in your favorite hobby.
Mm-hmm. That is big.
That is big. Now, there's benefits of shared activities and hobbies. Now, a hobby is any activity that you do for fun, relaxation, and enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That's
you
right.
should invite your spouse into your hobby, and they should do vice versa. Now, the website, www.happierhuman.com/hobbies-couples, they have like 65 different activities or hobbies
Wow.
that couples can engage in, from rock climbing to bird watching. So
So many things you
so
can
many
try.
things you can try, but you should do hobbies together. Now, here's some examples. Now, you are where you are in your life, and some are younger, some are older, some are more active, some are not. So you just have to whatever is fits where you are now. But and remember, you can always get in better shape. So number one, exercise together.
Yep.
That's a great hobby to do together. Exercise together. Take a cooking class together. Go bird watching. Go beach combing. Puzzle building. Karaoke. Lego building. Dance classes. I want to say fencing classes. Not the fences that you put up in your yard. But
With the sword.
fencing.
The foil or whatever they
Here's
call
a
it.
good one. Learn a new language together.
Oh, yes. That's especially great if your goal is to go to another country
Right.
in the next year. Wow, you can learn the language together.
And you can encourage each other as you learn the language. And you start speaking Espanol in your
You
household.
need to have conversations.
Or
Yes.
Italian, or Espanol, or German, or whatever, Japanese, whatever it is on your heart
Right.
to learn. Hiking, camping.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one. Enjoy tech-free days.
Wow.
That's you unplug.
What's that?
No
Right.
phones.
Most people
for a
would say, I
day.
can't do it.
No phones for
That's
a
a
day.
good one, though.
No phones for a
That
day.
should be relaxing.
That would be very relaxing.
Bring the stress levels down.
Pickleball, tennis, there's golf, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, you'd start a couple's podcast, a YouTube video channel. You can play video games. You go ATVing, have a movie night, plant a butterfly garden,
Wow.
take a pottery class, take a painting class, and go biking.
Go biking,
Which
yes.
They could be dirt bikes, mountain bikes, or just riding on
A tandem bike.
tandem bikes, or just bikes down
Try that and see how you go.
on a trail, a bike trail.
No
so-
arguing, right?
So I really encourage you to do more activities together. It really does help the intellectual intimacy in your marriage.
It shouldn't all just be so brainy and so intellectual. It should be fun.
Yeah, and so like we said before, we said in these past series on intellectual intimacy, they're not 4 different worlds of intimacy.
Right.
There are different areas of intimacy: spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical. But they enhance each other.
That's right.
As you enhance your intellectual intimacy, you will find that it will enhance your emotional intimacy.
That's true. That is true. You have all those shared memories and shared activities together,
Right.
and things you discuss. That really
And just have
does help.
fun. Just have fun doing something. And I know we know how it's like having young kids, and how it is that you're just trying to get through the day, trying to get to the point where they're in bed, and you can just have 5 minutes to yourself with your spouse. We know how that is. And, and you expect me to start a hobby on top of that? We know how it is. You just do your best.
That's right.
5 minutes exercising together is better than 0 minutes.
It sure
exercising together.
5 or 10 minutes is better than none. That's so true.
Right. Now, the fourth sign that you're developing intellectual intimacy is you discuss your core values and needs. Now, we've talked before on other episodes the basic needs of a husband versus the basic needs of a wife, but you need to be able to discuss those needs.
That's right, because as you're getting older, things are changing, your body's changing, sometimes your emotional and physical needs are changing. Might not be big changes, but you should talk about it.
We should talk about everything, and you shouldn't be embarrassed about talking about anything in your relationship. You really shouldn't. So it's really important to understand each other's needs. I need to really know that Teresa, one of her highest needs is meaningful conversation. She needs that from me. It's a need that she has. It's not a want or a luxury.
Right.
She really needs that to feel loved. And she really, acts of service, when I do acts of service for her, that's how she feels loved. And
Certainly.
I need to understand that, and we need to be able to talk about that. Now, we need to also have meaningful conversation about our values and needs. So I did some research, and here are some exercises to identify and align your values and needs as a couple. You need to do a values and needs inventory. Just talk about that. Just talk about that. We said we have past episodes about the basic needs of a husband and the basic needs of a wife. To be able to talk about those, you need to talk about. And we talked about love languages, and think and talk about during your daily talk. You can talk about things like that. I think we haven't had enough time talking, or we just haven't had, some area. We haven't had any friendship building. We need some more friendship building.
Right.
And we talk about the basic needs of a man, honor and respect and physical affection. And we talked about friendship, and we talked about domestic support. Domestic support is not, again, I say it every time, it's not cooking, cleaning, and sewing. It's taking a house and making it into a home. And talking about the basic needs of a wife, meaningful conversations, of non-sexual affection, soft affection. And we talked about those needs. So you need to talk about those things and your love languages and how your tank is filling up, or if your tank is filling up. You need to ask your spouse, is your tank full? And if they look at you, you're not. So also a good idea is have a vision board. So a vision board is, everyone should know a vision board. Vision board is like you just have it's just a board or a bulletin board or just something where you might have, maybe you want a new car, and you put up a picture of a car that you like, or maybe you're looking for a house, and you put up the picture of a house you like. Maybe you want to take a trip to Alaska or the Grand Canyon. You put your picture of the Grand Canyon. Maybe you want to be debt-free. You put up the current balance, and every week it goes down.
Oh, yes,
so
that's a great idea.
A vision board is something that you can just focus on your shared goals, and your shared vision, right, Teresa?
Makes it more concrete too, instead of just like you've got the idea up in your head, or even if you wrote it down, but you've got pictures. It's something, the way our brain works, you're more inspired about it. You more expect it, that it's really going to happen.
Right.
It's so important to be able to see that vision.
Yeah. Another thing we can do during our discussion, our core values and needs, have deep dive conversations. So that's really, this is really diving deep, where you look at each other in the eye and say, at the end of our lives, what does success look like?
That's good.
Now, have you ever thought about that? When you get, and guess what? You're going to get to the end of your life. You will get to the end of your life. And what do you want your marriage to look like
Right.
at the end?
Is it like you started a business and you grew it and became independently wealthy, or, at least prepared yourself a comfortable living so when you're older, you don't have to depend on your kids. You don't have to live off a meager retirement or anything. You've got something wonderful built up. Or it could be just, for some people, it's just raising the kids and putting them through college.
Any kids, and are they out? Are they independent, and are they following the dream that God has given them? Right. Another thing you can do is take a personality test. And there's a personality test that divides you up into lions and beavers and otters and other
I don't
things.
know what else.
Right. Don't take it as gospel. It lets you know where your strengths are.
Yeah, it's not cut and dried like you have to be only like this, because like anything, you're going to have some traits of some other.
Right. And there's all kinds of factors in your life. Your birth order, it's just other things, which you're not locked into those pigeonholed ideas or stereotypes.
Yes, that's true.
Of your birth order. All right. Something else you can do that's really good: draw a timeline of your life together.
Wow,
Include
that's
the
really
good times and the challenges.
That's really good.
So go back and just get a piece of paper and just draw your marriage. And
that
just
would be a lot of fun.
Mark on there. This is when this happened. This is when this and include the good times and include the challenges. This is where we overcame this. This is when we said goodbye to this person. This is, and so just draw a timeline of your life together.
That would be amazing, because you'd have so much to be thankful for when you look over it and see all that has happened, and like Jeff said, the challenges you've overcome, things you got through because you were together, and your family grew out of that. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Number 5, you enjoy healthy debates. Now, there's a big difference between a healthy debate and an argument. In an argument, you're trying to win the conversation. Debates, you're trying to come together.
Yeah, it's like an exchanging of ideas.
Yeah.
You don't have to think exactly alike, but you can listen to each other's ideas, and even if they don't agree, you're at least saying it and putting it out in the open, right?
Right. Like we said earlier, in an argument, there's going to be a winner and a loser. And you don't want that in your marriage.
Right.
You don't want to beat your spouse in anything except maybe Scrabble. Or checkers.
I bet you could.
Or Chinese checkers. But you don't want you don't want to beat your spouse in anything, really.
No, it's not
but
dominating somebody.
Healthy debates can lead to growth and deeper understanding. Right. So a lot of times when you take a topic and you discuss it, you both gain insight and understanding, and the issue actually becomes clear to you. And you say, "Oh, I understand your viewpoint, and I like that." So you may
learn something.
You learn something. Now, remember, keep it respectful, keep it focused, and it's all about collaboration. You're working on a solution together. Now, the ground rules for productive and respectful debates: you take turns, you stay calm, and you avoid absolutes.
Oh, that's so true.
You always do this. You never do that. Avoid absolutes.
Right, none of those.
So you just take turns.
Absolutes.
You stay calm, and you avoid absolutes, and you'll collaborate together. It's good. Number 6, you identify with this feeling. I can talk to my spouse about anything. It's so important to build trust and create a safe place for open communication. That's why we said from day one, your marriage has to be a safe place where your spouse is free to talk to you about anything without reprisals.
That's right.
Without penalty.
That's so important.
We have some techniques to help us for active listening and empathetic responses. Give full attention to detail. When your spouse is talking, give them your full attention. Don't be thinking about the ball game or how crazy your day was, how things were so bad at work, or your ride home, or anything like that. Give your spouse your full attention. Use nonverbal cues. Look at them in the eye. Smile. Nod. Don't sit there with your hands folded.
Oh, right.
Looking at them, waiting for them to finish, and just kind of looking at them. Don't do that.
Right.
And don't interrupt. Let them talk. And let them just share their feelings, share their thoughts. It's called active listening. So don't interrupt.
That's true.
And when they say something, you can feel free to paraphrase and summarize. No, I feel that this is what I feel that you said, or this is how.
This is what it sounded like to me.
This is what you sounded like to me. And you can paraphrase and summarize. And just to make sure that you got it right, because we have different filters. I hear things differently as a male than Teresa hears as a female. So we have different perspectives, thankfully. And so we need to make sure that we are on the same page.
That's right.
On the same page of the playbook, right?
That's good.
And we need to reflect the feeling. So if my wife is upset about something, or I don't need to, not a big deal.
Right.
Or if she's joyful about something, I need to be joyful with her about something. If she tells me some exciting news that maybe she had heard that day about something somebody said to her or that she learned, I need to reflect her feelings with the appropriate feelings. If she's happy about something, and she's cheerful and glad about something, I should be happy with her and reflect those feelings.
That's true. Oh, yeah. That makes a big difference. Instead of it just like bouncing off of your spouse. Like they wouldn't care. And so it shows a lot more care for what your spouse is feeling when you reflect the same thing back. Just like we're saying, respect for their thoughts and their feelings.
And our last technique for active listening is stay present. So stay in the moment. Don't be thinking ahead of what you're going to say in response to your spouse. Don't be thinking about what they said yesterday. Well, I'm going to give it to him now because I remember what he said yesterday. Oh, I remember what she did yesterday to me. I remember that. No, stay present. And you're not in an argument. Remember, it's not an argument. It's active listening. Listen to your spouse. Full attention to detail. Nonverbal cues. Don't interrupt. Paraphrase and summarize. Reflect the feelings and stay present. So this week we talked about 6 signs that we're developing intellectual intimacy. We talked about that you are able to talk about your plans for the future. You regularly seek each other's opinions about something. You and your spouse join in a hobby. You discuss your core values and needs. You enjoy healthy debates. And you identify with this feeling. I can talk to my spouse about anything.
That's right.
So next week, we're going to start a new series. It'll be season 2. It'll be Valentine's next week. We're going to talk about a new series, and we're going to talk about love. Exciting news. Catch our audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts. We would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave us a review. Do you prefer watching? Head on over to YouTube and search for the Inspiring Marriages channel to see us in action. And for the ultimate convenience, listen with your smart device. Just say, Siri, play the Inspiring Marriages podcast. Join us wherever and however you prefer to tune in. This week's Friendship Builder So this week, our friendship builder for developing intimacy is do a hobby together. So we're going to pick a hobby that we currently don't do, and we're going to try it out, and we're going to share photos of that. So we want you to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. We want you to share your stories on how you and your spouse develop your intellectual intimacy together. What are some of the things you do together? Do you hike? Do you do puzzles? Do you do the crossword together?
Do you read books?
Do you read books? Do you go mountain climbing? Do you skydive together? Do you fly kites? Whatever it is.
Go to museums.
Go to museums. What do you and your spouse do to develop intellectual intimacy? Because as we've seen over these past few weeks, although it's not talked about a lot, intellectual intimacy is very important and very vital.
It's vital
for a healthy, vibrant marriage.
That's right. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Join our vibrant community on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for the latest updates and behind-the-scenes moments.
Got something on your mind? Shoot us an email at inspiringmarriages@att.net. We're all ears for your questions or suggestions on how to enhance our podcast. And if you have any ideas on topics you'd love us to dive into next, let's keep the conversation going. Always remember, husband and wife are friends for life.